Ugh. Slippery. Slippery when wet. Who'd have thought that? That's going to be a very foggy image. Oh dear. The joys of riding in winter. Here are a few winter riding tips for you guys if you've never ridden in winter before and you'd like to. He says, killing himself on all the bumps that it happened to be going over at the same time. Number 1, cold. The cold weather is your worst enemy in more than one reason. Firstly, because it's cold, which means you'll get cold. The colder you get, the more likely you are to suffer tiredness. So in a car, it's the heat that causes the tiredness. On a motorcycle, it's the cold. So obviously invest in some very good layers. Layers, that's the word I'm looking for. Invest in some very good layers. So obviously base layers and layer up. But make sure you don't layer up so much that you're like the Michelin Man and you can't physically move. So nice gloves, which I have got some new ones. Although saying that, they're winter gloves, but I can still feel the cold through it. So I'm thinking I might get some heated gloves at some point. There are a lot of heated clothes you can buy actually for winter, and I would strongly recommend, especially if you tend to ride a lot in winter. The cold also, not only does the cold affect you yourself physically, in the respect of it makes you tired and more exhausted and fatigued, but you've got to consider the fact is that the colder the ambient temperatures, the colder the road is, the less grip your tyres will have because your tyres will get cold. Swerving like this, if I can do it, like this, like what the MotoGP guys do, that's not going to put any heat in your tyres. In fact, it's not going to put any more heat in your tyre than what you need, because you're not going fast enough to generate that heat. In fact, the way to generate heat in a tyre is hard acceleration and hard braking, but then you've got the problem where, especially at this time of the year when it's cold, all the oil and grease and everything, I don't know if you can see it, I can see it all. There's a trail of oil and grease all the way down this road here. So that all gets kind of drawn out of the road by the cold and by the rain as well. So it means being a lot more gentler on your accelerator and gear, and also leave a lot more distance between yourself and the car in front of you. Now obviously I can't comment for any other country because I don't know how cold you guys get down to. At the moment it's November and we're currently at 6 degrees. It's 6 degrees and it's been pretty much 5 and 6 degrees all day today. And we've also had a bit of a rain shower, as you can see. So cold affects you yourself physically, will affect your tyres as well, and will affect the grip that your tyres have on the surface. He's looking right. The other thing obviously you've got to watch out for, particularly this time of the year, is falling leaves, because they are a damn sight more slipperier than any ice. And people seem to actually not realise that. They are very wet, slippery leaves are lethal. The other thing as well, actually, while I'm thinking about that as well, is the white lines, or the painted. So, look behind me. I don't know if you can see that white arrow over there, but there is an arrow as we go round. That arrow there, in the rain and in the cold, is also incredibly slippery. So I'd recommend you stay off road painting as much as you can. Also with the cold brings wind. Wind is not your friend. And look at that. I don't know if you got it, but I've just got a face full of crap as well. So that's another thing as well, vision. vision will be drastically reduced in the winter months because of the rain, and because the fact is that in the UK in particular we salt the roads, and because we salt the roads it tends to leave nasty residue on the road, which usually gets slung up into your visor, so they end up trying to clean it off and end up smearing it all over your visor instead, which kind of doesn't work. So if you're planning on actually riding in the winter months, especially if you're new to riding and you're in the UK or any other country, actually it comes to that matter, where the temperature drops dramatically and you have adverse weather, your first priority will be to get some really good decent clothes. Now, a tip for you guys, and that's if you can't afford any decent base layers at the moment, there is a cheap alternative. Obviously you could use thermal underwear. Other than that, this is something I got from the British Army, and that is you can use ladies' tights. Most of the British Army will actually guarantee, or will actually confirm, that the use of tights under your clothes, obviously thick tights as well, will actually keep you a lot warmer, keep your feet warm as well, which is something I must pick up because I've run out. So yeah, so there's a cheap alternative for you if you can't afford some of the more expensive base layers. But I will put links down below as to the kind of layers, and always remember, start from the inside. You need a decent base layer that will actually wick away sweat, because if you sweat at all, obviously that will also reduce your temperature. Where am I going? Oh bloody hell, I'm going the wrong way. I just realised that. I'm actually supposed to be going to Frankie and Benny's, but I've just taken the wrong roundabout. Oh no. Ooh. Gingerly take the roundabout. So guys, anyway, thank you very much for listening to this video. I hope you enjoy it. Actually, just before I go, can you see, look, all these leaves scattered all over the place? They are quite slippery. They are very slippery, especially the fact that they end up on the road, so you've got to be really careful where you actually stick your bike. So guys, anyway, thank you very much for listening to this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Tweet me at Nige-Rider. Don't forget, I'd love to hear your comments and your experiences of riding in winter weather, if you ride in winter weather. Any hints and tips you can give, don't forget to leave them in the comment section below. I am just off to Frankie and Benny's for a lovely, lovely Frankie and Benny meal. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to have, but I am. And I will catch you guys later. See you soon. Cheerio. Goodbye.